Every day starts the same. Really trying to use as little as possible to build that connection. A lot of it's just finding my own balance point in my sit bones. Feeling where it relates to him. I have to find my balance point with his balance point, or I can't. The basics of this system is to disrupt the balance point, to create something different, and then return to the balance point for the reward. Here, I'm going to disrupt that balance point, step over one step, return and relax. Pick up, disrupt the balance point, create a little bit of a lateral, return and relax. So the lateral movement helps create more shape. The return to balance, or even a slight counterbalance, brings the horse through. Shape, follow through. Really work on myself as much as anything in this portion, right? This is how I try to start all the time. Sometimes the horse may need to go, and that's fine. We'll go a little bit and come back to this. But if I can get him to hang with me, start figuring out to stay with my body when I'm in balance, to stay relaxed and stay in the same place. When I disrupt balance, change, bring about change and return to balance. This is a signal, right? So if I set him up here to shape, a little bit of lateral, it's just signaling him to change and then return into balance. What I like to try to develop in my horses is a seamless feel, right? What I found over time is that I can create a lot of connection with my horse just doing the smallest things, right? To see how small of a signal, how small of a change I can use, and how well that relates to the horse. I don't need to go fast. If I can put myself in that position here, you can see I don't have to hold this horse in here. He's just figuring it out. And so by doing this, I give the horse a lot of chance to adjust to my signal. You can see sometimes he'll be distracted. I'll give him a chance. And you can really build a lot of connection with your horse this way. By kind of really taking your time and trying to use the smallest thing possible for a signal. And then balancing over. Right, so when I want to change, the first thing I do is kind of bring myself together. Then I initiate the change by opening up where I want it to go. When I open, say, the right shoulder, if I lift up my rib cage here over the right shoulder, it's going to put my weight towards my left hip a little bit. So everything you open, you're closing the opposite diagonal as a general rule. You can open both bar pads on one side, but that's not the way horses walk. They walk in diagonals or they trot in diagonals. So whatever the gait is that they're in, it's either a 4-beat or a 2-beat diagonal. I don't really think of the diagonal as much as loping, as it's just up and down. But if I can really get him thinking about these things, I'm also trying to just give one small signal and see what happens, right? So instead of making it happen, I'm going to ask the horse a question with my body. I'm going to open a door for him, and then I'm going to see what comes out of it. Maybe nothing. Maybe I got to ask again. Then maybe I got to change my tactics a little bit. Doesn't matter. He's got to figure out what to do to own it. If I do it for him, he's not doing it. Rounding, expanding out, opening something. Right? Every door you open closes another door. And you can only open a step. Right? So if I open the shoulder, then I've got to go back to neutral to allow the other shoulder to come through. I can open the door, but I can't just hold it open. Once I start through, I've got to get back to the middle. Very slowly, just trying to get him to figure out he can just stay with that nose button wherever it is. A lot of times he'll give you a lot there, and I'll end up taking a little bit too much or doing a little too much. If you just kind of come out and let it move a little bit, and try not to bother him as little as possible. I do the same things when I'm trotting here, right? Make those little movements and release. See what happens. A lot of times we'll move around a little bit like that, and then I'll come right back to this really ultra slow stuff. A lot of people find this kind of boring work, but I really like this work because I feel like this is where I build the point where I'm really connecting my movements to the horse, and it's the point where I can really fine-tune his feel. You know, start to take, so the horse gains a lot more understanding. He'll always have things that kind of bother him or spook him or something. It doesn't matter. There's times like that, you just kind of just, you know, go back, put him back to work. There's a guy walking up the trail. Back and let him know there's nothing to be worried